Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Streeters Watching. This is my editorial from me, DJ Slim. This editorial is proudly brought to you by my bet.africa. Make sure YouTube has here searching for my bet.africa TV. Now, if you the best of the best sports content, open sports, open see a church muna if you say we neko there. Euros in update in my bet.africa. Yes, fast forward. When say aqua blue mineral water and so kind of nsu papa no nsu kroje nsu a ema yarebia aqua blue mineral water and I also this can so free abrochi abagana use Jupay JUPAY download the app no see na use me promo code no DJ Slim na bibia enye kama ma the other chopping board no so ene no ye gbera Hennessy Cypher 2024 no Hennessy Cypher 2024 no na fi ya ba be kire ode ekwo kinsak especially or that chopping board no so me confirm kuma naba na fi maba bi twetwem me tani aba.
You don't know these streets like we do.
So welcome back. Hennessy Cypher, I think this initiative started last year. Last year na me who is about more than last year dia. More than last year dia me de minim. But me the last year na me who in last year me who say manifest ko jinemu represente had Emma Ghana. Hennessy Cypher I mean the normal rap cypher happen, combination of rappers from different parts of Africa. Any account boom or maka boom. Na Hennessy and Sa Hennessy and yes adwumadi no kan rappers ni boom na fi o ma ba be bibi ba ku mienu miensa na fi ya hwese rapper ben na sebi predua so what rap and as be approve the level as be kire obobre sanity abetire ekushi abetire ni ahwede na beti so. So as typical of a cypher, anytime a cypher drops, conversation is starting here. Oh, who did good? Who did bad? Why they say so? Why not say so? Why not? Maybe I know can't be a toasum. Conversation be build this because rap is rhythmic African poetry, and when it comes to poetry or any art form, appreciation it comes from different angles. How you see it might not be how I see it. So for the purposes of today's discussion, we'll weigh in a lot on social media conversation. How people are appreciating this art form from different parts of the world. Now in Ghana especially, I mean, since we have a Ghanaian in there, none other than our very own Sarkodie, who has been labeled as the most decorated artist, or to a larger extent, you can call him the landlord, who is the landlord of Ghana rap music as it stands now. So expectations were high when this cypher was about to be dropped, and of course they did drop it yesterday. Hashtag Hennessy Cypher is trending on Ghanaian X and not formerly near friend Twitter and air trending. Now if you tap on it, conversation is okay. Kinsak did great, but he could have done better. That is how the conversation echo. Conversation no echo sanity. So on social media, mixed reactions. I mean, there's a typical account, one handle called Bless Man Bars, who's saying they are doing comparison, but still Sarkodie remains Africa's best. Now, comparison now, in different shapes and form. Let me see if I can also put in this one. I'm for from Olile Salvador, 3 Music TV, and in a ranking as to Oma Ohune say Omoya dear Kessie. Hennessy Cypher 2024 no was number 1 Ladipo who's from Nigeria. Calligraph Jones he's from Kenya mebwa. Calligraph Kenya ni mebwa. Calligraph is from Kenya, okay, and Sarkodie who's from Ghana. Okay, so until number 1 Ladipo, number 2 Calligraph Jones, number 3 Sarkodie. CJ Bigaman and Suwe our conversation must Ladipo the wordplay on the notes that is money, but also correlating it to the musical note falsetto was hard. Okay, nice one in there. Big M Do or say when the essay rapper quoted M. Dot, I was like, hold up, what's akin to a god? Influence, papa. So what's akin to a god? One line that manifests use, especially when people were referring manifest this Sarkodie issue. Bias or no way this way no. M. Dot manifest they used to say for King Saka or no a god MC. So what's akin to a god? Was a king there way ketwa or no god or what I say or top in a more professional way. I mean, mixed reactions on social media. Now, this one would lead me into my editorial for today. Angel Torpedo, who weighs in the conversation saying that other rappers came to prove themselves, but Sarkodie came to preach to them. Well, this is my stand on the Hennessy Cypher 2024. Yes, I believe say rappers be bringing about so from DDB, Calligraph Jones, Ladipo, Sarkodie himself, and a couple more. I realized this that when I was watching it, and of course, may share during the early hours of today. Me notice say everybody had a message in there, but Sarkodie was particular about delivering a certain message, and for fans, for people who love rap music and who want to attack it from some of the elements that are in rap, so far on that level when it comes to flow, delivery, when it comes to punchlines, metaphors, and similes. You know, if you want to look at these elements and relegate content to the back of the conversation, that is when you do a list of things, as in a list of rappers who nailed it and not include Sarkodie in it, or might decide, okay, Sarkodie is not worthy of the number one position. Yes, by saying this, I'm not saying Sarkodie is number one when it comes to the Hennessy Cypher, but hear me out. Sarkodie came with a special message to talk about. And what is the message? Message is simple. Message is the involvement of record labels in our music space and its impact. That is what he wanted to talk about. In fact, that is what he did talk about, because the message was loud and clear. One mambo ba kokra Okan straightforward. Now, as a man no ka ho asem. O say emre bi atwam no betimi afa phone afre ni nua so pe feature. O betimi afa phone afre ni nua na pa feature bi ope bia get it done. But say so afa phone afre ni nua for a feature. E was say kosi a obi so because no need sa nipa kro na ye boss. Na sa nipa kro na sa ye akwa artist ni ho. Before kra anyom baba out no kra ya pay age publishing. Before publishing sem kra be ko ho no wasensan kra ta be de ho, but no, as an independent artist, at a certain point in time, he was faced with whether to sign a deal or not. So he approached a couple of people, or they approached him. Either way, there was an approach. And they gave him a tall book, in fact, a big book full of pages. Now, a slavery. And kwasumpa na so because onim ne nkrofo bebre a oni omo say adwuma na se asese you know ya loko o ma se keji mu na otwa so can same PA involved with, I mean, some of the negative stuff that are associated with signing a bad deal, a bad record deal. Sarkodie has always been on that mission. I mean, waka that's on waka de be as on a independent artist and the publishing the Titi no de be man. Nteneba MJ ne Titi no de. MC Titi de odi Kenya na Japa de awie. Minim say we say the MJ buy no be chemu tu no wa ma MJ nso bi dia. Ne publishing de odi kan ka say ne ba ne first born ho na eye de eko. He's very particular about it. I mean, people do hit him up and ask him all sorts of questions every time he goes for an interview. People ask him, say, "Ade na on signing for a record deal." Backtracking kweche kra kakra. Ekon beye interview. Eka maybe say, on no person signing Sarkodie. You remember back then, Sarkodie was affiliated to Convict Music at a certain point. As affiliation be or now, if Sarkodie trap it, I know I see. Now as affiliation be also, it's as a result of Boo ye Ekon and Boo. And yes, as of it, Boo link up to Sarkodie, and then I mean they built, I mean, something nice. I not just say deal and care basso. Ekon in that same interview said, if Sarkodie had signed to Convict Music, he would have been like the biggest. I mean, when we talk about Convict Music, T-Pain for Convict Music, Lady Gaga also signed to Convict Music. I mean, I think Ekon's biggest amount of money that he had attributed to Lady Gaga's friends and signing to Convict Music. I mean, he signed a lot of artists, but undoubtedly these two are the predominant ones. So we blew Convict Music to the next level. Fast forward, Sarkodie understanding the game, the growth throughout the game from even Convict time, crowd one sign. I know up till now, yen shed antin and numa same reason tia one sign. Yentin and numa semo, but Danko's entertainment na animu na fi ebedane success music. Just say your own one kasani record label denam. People feel if he had signed on to any, I mean, label, he would have been bigger than what we or how we see him right now, which could be true, which could be false. Now, I'm breaking it down, man. Nam fe remember me see the entire or cancer asem no Hennessy Cypher nim. Na menchire the entia if you are doing your ratings, you should review it. Review rating be awaye wo trimu bia. See, there's this big problem that is happening to African music, and the moment ye be bie ye nisi ye behwe ni, we will see say hey ye yakwachi. Do you know that as it stands now, due to international record labels and how they are empowering Afrobeat or African music, it has become extremely cheaper to even book Chris Brown for an event than to book any of your favorite Afrobeat artists? Do you know that? Your favorite Afrobeat artist is charging $400,000 plus a private jet for an event. Do you know that? And this was a tweet that was posted by friends Afro Chella, one of the founders of Afro Chella, that is Dizzy, a couple of months back. Or say, your favorite Afrobeat artist, no, or charge $400,000 plus a private jet as means of transportation. Same last year, and yet Hannah Westgate, Embebo, Ebezo Beboshu, so no say amount photo ticket, Ebegu ho, senior man to private jet news awensi. Sure na maso. And it was being reported, say, an alleged amount of $800,000 was paid as his performance fee. 200,000 there drew 1 million. Now already rich, or they say? Drake. But what I'm saying that there is something happening to our music. It has been taken over by foreigners. And these foreigners have been able to recruit our very own and creative branches at the amomo. A typical example is Empire, which we all know is a subset of Epic, which is a subset of Atlantic, which is also a subset of Universal. It's partner or top one say Universal trickle down about to Empire at the rock bottom. I'll be who Empire Africa, I'll be who friend say Nigeria for on Crawford, but then at the end of the day, the money train who followed a paper train topo. And what these people are doing, basically, they are helping, yes, of course, or move blow your artists. That is why Sarkodie said in the song, say, or in the cypher, and say, African music was doing so much well, but yeah, yentimi bro, yeah, signing deal na ma on lo kwade no. And I say similar to say the fraud for ne yom scammers ne yom adwuma no. He has discovered something in there that is worth driving the attention of the African continent. And which better platform is he able, and I say, which better platform and avenue benya or the bekasa assembly than a cipher that he knows comprises of African artists. Me pacho me buso. Krobia and Crawford Hills is here, I say. Every country in Africa and the artists represented here. Which better avenue? Which better avenue? Which better platform? And it's typical of King Sack. I mean, if Sack there, wouldn't say no, me banner swat there, who say mekan. Dear woman who may say yabon, and she be ambos may say yabon back on so. But listen, yes, what time could do an Mirka dear, you don't chay. And as all time aboa preku na topa de yito nchen. Anytime King Sack gets a platform that commands attention of people, he would deliver something, or the adibi be to ho man article adwene no. Or the be to na article adwene no be ba adwene no so pre. Dwene ho kakra me ndwene bibi ho. Now, or that thing, we need to have a critical look at it. Is it helping? And I say, later. I say, there's a whole conversation that we need to have here about the impact of record labels in our music ecosystem, which is the subject matter of Sarkodie's cypher. On the cypher round, he came there to preach a message. And he's telling every single artist, say, your sweat, your blood, sweat, and tears, all these things that you've been going through just to put out a song, just to be seen and make a living out of it. Said, one share yankrophobic baby or more scammers. They will come in like friends say, wolves in sheep's clothes. No, my so mu say him. Or say a drew baby, you better say, oh, share or revenue from your streams. And they will do peekaboo. They just say, hey, peekaboo, nima. Peekaboo, me offers we say, peekaboo. Ha! Who risk now? Recently, John Bellion. It's trending on social media. You can search it. I mean, I'm not the person to tell you this. Or no Bruni Fitanumpo John Bellion. Singer, songwriter, music producer. Akwana multi-talented. John Bellion was saying that he signed a deal. Later on, when he sat down to really look at it, he was signed to Live Nation, and at the point, Live Nation owning all the venues. Or no show no show no wie no. Wabosho wie ye. Say venue ne Live Nation there, but o ma charge no. Or no record label no ma charge for venue no problem. And apart from so ma charge no. Omo beto on drinks wo ho, omo be J stands near there wo show na se nyina wanya kaprekura film. Of which these are all revenue sources for the artist. Into ono wote ono obebo awie no obebo show na wie ne ticket and the number of tickets that people bought and me and cover for even venue no obebo show na wie he will still run at a loss at the back end. And they will have to go and deduct that money from his streams. And your favorite artist may be doing 100 million, 200 million streams, or even 1 billion streams. But Busan is kind of hard here. It is something worth looking at. So we might have a renaissance of Afrobeat. And we think African music is doing so much. We are actually, we control the whole world right now. Right now, if we Afrobeat, but who is the final person the money sits with? Sarkodie is preaching in that cypher. Watching yadrin or tickle yadrin is mumien shin you. Mumien shes had in you. And I understand him because all these years in the music business, while rap was had live and applications Sarkodie so nya untiminye. When the people, when they started on social media, people were saying more room for improvement, more Kensak power, we are disappointed. And I'm like, you came in looking for something else. You watch Umia play when you got online. Umia play because you were looking for something else. That something else, is that same Sarkodie who did Angels and Demons? Is that same Sarkodie who did Homicide? That same Sarkodie did the original? Same Sarkodie and what rappers are? Do you think any refi rapper now? The guy doesn't have dementia. And you need to know refi rapper now, them in Tiasi. Onyare on you no. Until rap be a udin so nimbia onimo. But one maho se wo ba be one be competition o hu ni se ne kwara bi no mo group na se mon na mo betena se momra konwa na se momra opanyina ba montie nyansa obede sa no fa no calligraph bra mti onyansa obetuma to nwoma ye horobara unya kapre o tobo fa opepa ne bra ne enko hu lawyer we on na adwene mu do yenko penyansa ladipo bra uswa o wadi say wan hu nwi trase ami tira wade bi o enu no ba ye se wo ba beye wa ma competition oba competition are fair enough. I can tell you for a fact that if it was, even Sarkodie in all also share the metal jacket to cry their flow wise Mr. and no dear ladipo the other buy na no wedding akwadano akwadala the pool the other bar cypher we so na no wedding men can na down punchlines akwadana the buy no na no wedding flow wise. If you ask me to rate top 3 flow, calligraph number 1, ladipo number 2, ebia number 3 me dia DDB na me sade Sarkodie ashe ho ebia on be bracket number 3. Punchlines waka se enhwe punchlines a ladipo number 1, number 2 calligraph, number 3 na bia am sa ne DDB ne And of course, sack me for sack and show sa, but me did be punchline sack and back punchlines back. But ye ban a message a bit to me as a sasa or munina life wa. Ye ban impact. Or munina ye say you bra. With the best African you yate. So Kofi and your best in Abakwakudi. Me boy. Calligraph. Why you suit orange? Ukovia anuna Abakwakudi. Huh? Eti adene de. Ya biem de ni abiem. Opinion by say or ba kire kwan e wo se fa so na. Let me tickle your mind on another sensitive thing that we've never paid attention to as Africans, as music lovers. That the ecosystem, the entertainment ecosystem and as a creative ecosystem, everybody is a full beneficiary. See a person running year. It was say obia all the players involved. It was so obia nya bibi out of it. Now, the cost of booking an African artist, like I said, ne boy din so much say event organizers intimi mbuki artist. And it's because if you are booking an artists who have a 360 deal with their record labels, they are charging out of the market rate. Because I was say label no sunya ni sika. Some have been given terms. Me say makai will be contract on. They said na me say granda for contract no mo de ma ilale de no na ano edian. Me kan ba ku bi on. Ono de akire bi a oyi ni kidney 2 na oyi ni lungs 1. Wo yi na ni ba akwa aka ho ansa no bi watimatua. Because akwa no nya aware of the contract ni kire. Chese ka bia ye bebo and a car a car mobile ball no a lifetime on you the artist. How is that even possible? And we need because a shemu kit. Miss Ramo. Let's not look kwa Cypher ni biuma going in there with an open mind. Yes, you're a rap fan. Yes, Sarkodie could have done better. Yes, some also said the same message. He could have delivered it and delivered it better. Yes, there's always more room for improvement. Hey, me see Jay-Z crowd, yeah, rap no crowd. In New York, Empire State of the Might, there's still more room for improvement. Even that song, there's nothing like a perfect song. It's art. Hey, me say Bob Marley, Redemption song, there's more room for improvement. Because you might hear even a rendition of that same song and say, hey, we are powerful. Now, I didn't know Bob Marley now because I was a version. I didn't want to know. Or be there. So there's more art BR, there's more room for improvement. But I want you to go back and watch the video again and watch it right now from the content perspective and see who delivered and who did not deliver. Your friend DJ Slim, may the best see us in a more professional way. Keep it real because the street is always what? Watching.
You don't know these streets like we do.
We